Hello everyone, my name is Taha. I'm a project manager. So I am the PMP, so I decided to take the course of PMI-PBA, and I have more than experience, maybe 11 years experience in project management. Yeah, you know, it was always I was curious about the the process before initiation. I mean, as a project manager, when I just took over the project, so it means that I had no idea where what was happened before initiation. So maybe just participating in some preparing some business case or something like that, but for the the whole process, I mean, maybe analysis, elicitation, traceabilities and monitoring or something like that, so I was not completely aware of. So it was interesting for me to know all things about the the whole process. So I decided to get this certification. So actually all of us are aware of this these facts that if you have more knowledge, so you boost your opportunities to for the future. So as a project manager, when I want to manage the projects, so most of organization, companies prefer to hire the project managers who knows the the business analysis process. Maybe for big organization, because they have some business analyst excellence of center of excellence, right? So maybe for those organization, they just wants to hire specifically the professional business analyst. But the small organization, if you have business analyst knowledge, so you have more opportunities to be hired. So I took this chance in order to first increase my knowledge, and the second for the future, if I want to work as a project manager besides business analysis. After searching, I just found that okay, iZenBridge has a review all the comments, and I found that okay, I can get these courses online with the iZenBridge. So after taking this course, I just for the first time I just went through all the material which was prepared by you, Seema, and also Mr. Socket. So after watching all the videos, I tried to study the business analyst practice which was published by PMI, and then try to take some test. So then I understood that okay, what was my weakness and also the strength, and then I can focus on those areas that I have weakness, and then try to prepare myself for the exam. First, from the beginning, they helped me, to filling my application form, because this is very important for the application form, especially you adjust your, your experience based on those 5, domains. So UCMO helped me to, prepare those, domains, my experience based on those domains. And then after, getting everything was done, I tried to, participate, especially for, clarification session. So it was very important for me, because for those students who just, for the first time just read maybe, practice, PMI business analyst practice. So it is not, tangible in somehow for many students, right? So, but by holding, in this clarification, you can just see, okay, what's going on, for instance, for the analysis domain. So if you just explain, with some example, it will be tangible for all the students. So it is very good. Plus, you can, have these opportunities to ask if you have any question during your studies. So it was very good for me because it completes my knowledge during my studies, and it helped me to understand deeply, in detail. Actually, the material which iZenBridge provided during the online course, I think it was enough, but it was, I just had, this is my method. Actually, in every study, I prefer to, have another source beside my studies. So, but, it depends on the student, student time. For example, because I was very busy, so I had to, schedule for myself. So in, how many months I want to, be prepared for the exam, right? So I just scheduled for myself 5 or 6 months I can get my, this certification. But it depends on the student, as I mentioned. Maybe a student have, enough time so they can, review, go through the courses. But the iZenBridge courses was completely, good for those person who just wants to, get as fast as can the certification, because too many video about the, the domains and then the knowledge area, and with the explanation, that is very important. Because for example, if you just explain some use case scenario, so you have some example for the use case, so this is tangible for the student. You have to go through the online courses, or maybe physical courses, physical classroom courses, and then try to match those you saw online or in physical classes with what you read in practice book, and then try to have some take some tests. So in tests you can identify your gaps, because I thought that, okay, I'm very good in need assessment, right? But if I take some test and I found that, okay, I have some weakness about these subjects, and I can spend more time on those subjects, right? And instead of for instance, I found that, okay, analysis domain, I have weakness in analysis domain. So why I should spend more time in need assessment if I'm good in need assessment, right? So I had separate my time and spend more time for those areas that I had no expertise, or even I had a weakness on that, and then try to take tests as much as possible. So based on I share my experience. I took maybe 2,400 tests before for the sitting the exam. So after those tests, I found that, okay, these areas I have a weakness, these areas I'm very strong. So I just focus on those weakness area, and then try to be prepared for the exam. When I faced the exam, the question was really hard, especially for analysis domain. But after the exam, I just noted some important things that I can share with you. So I just categorized based on the need, based on the domains that I will explain just in summary. For need as assessment, I saw several questions regarding the SWOT analysis, cost benefits, feasibility analysis, force field. I saw one question about the force field. It is very interesting for me. and also differences between the product scope and the project scope. You know, some scenario, they just explain some scenario, and then some question like a sponsor was talking about which document, and then product scope, project scope, something like that. And what included in product scope baseline, RACI matrix. One question exactly about the RACI matrix. They define some scenarios, explain some scenarios, and then at the end of the exam, what is the status of this person? Is it, responsible, accountable, consultant, or info? And SMART goals and objectives, cause and effect diagram, which was very important. I saw several questions regarding the cause and effect diagrams. And benchmarking, I saw 2 questions about the benchmarking. Business case, again, a short explanation, and then which document you need to find out. So the question was, and the interesting things that I never saw in any books, because beside the iZenBridge online course, I read another additional books in order to complete my studies. So even in that book, I didn't see such a pestle analysis. And I remember in one of your video, you exactly described about the pestle analysis. So one of the questions was about the pestle analysis. It was interesting for me. So it was the good opportunity for me to answer this such a question. And about the planning, domains, so factors for requirement prioritization, like value, cost, difficulties, risk, or something like that. Differences between verification and validation. It is very important. Maybe 5 or 6 questions I saw about the verification or validation. WBS, 2 or 3 questions I saw about the WBS. Estimation, analogous, bottom-up, parametrics, or something like that. Techniques for identifying stakeholders. So it was very important too. So and differences between brainstorming, facilitated workshop, and focus group. Maybe 6 or 7 questions I saw about these 3 topics. So it was very important too. About project charter, about life cycle, iterative, agile, or waterfall, and elicitation analysis. Unfortunately, in elicitation analysis, I saw 2 wordy questions. So it was time consuming, but I had no option except read all of the question. But it was very complex, very hard, but at the end I was successful in the exam. So those type of questions about the open-ended question, contextual free question, elicitation techniques. So these areas was very important. All the models was very important, especially interfaces, rules model, process and scope model, use case, several use case diagrams, several questions I saw about the use case diagram. So it was very important too. And the scenario, which explain about the interaction between system and between entities and the system. And then at the end of the question, they just, ask, okay, what type of model we should use. And document the solution requirement. Very important things like the precise, concise, complete, and the definition, all these, those topics, it was very important too. And also prioritization requirement, Moscow, multi-voting, time boxing, and weighted ranking. About time and, traceability and monitoring, so managing change to requirement. Maybe more than 10 questions I saw about the change requirement. So, for example, like that before baselining the requirements, something happened, some regulation happened. So what business analysts do, and also after baselining. So you baseline the requirement, and okay, government issued some regulation, so what business solution should do, and then 4 options or something like that. Impact analysis, it was very important again, impact analysis. So it means that if you baseline something, I mean the scope, the requirement, so if any change wants to happen, so you should do impact analysis. So they explain a scenario and then ask, okay, what is the first thing that the business analyst should do? So based on the scenario, you should finalize that, okay, it should be do the impact analysis or something like that. And the configuration management and version control system, it was again very important. And in evaluation domain, so evaluate the long-term performance. It was again interesting for me, maybe 5 or 6 questions I saw about in long-term performance in different scenarios. Estimation techniques, evaluation techniques, lesson learned, and retrospective, maybe 2 or 3 questions I saw. Verification techniques, inspection, peer view, test, and walkthrough. Maybe 5 questions I saw in exam about those areas. Evaluation technique, exploratory testing, user acceptance testing, and day in the life. So most of them, focus on user acceptance and testing. So it was very important for the person. If just one, techniques, maybe you could answer 5 questions. So it was very interesting for me. Evaluate acceptance criteria and address the defects. Several questions I saw in order. I remember one exact question. It was the business analyst just did everything, and the evaluation. Other someone from the other department which was not in a stakeholder find some defect during the testing. So what should the business analyst do? The first. So it is another question, about this area. And quality questions. So which is, about the cost of the quality assurance, 7 rules, which different type of the question, and you can see in the exam about the qualities. So, and the last but not least, about the requirement traceability matrix. It was very, very, very important things. Maybe more than 10 questions I saw in exam exactly about the requirement traceability, but in different scenarios. You have no idea, maybe this is easy when I just explain right now, but when you read the exam and then read the question and different scenario, you because you have 4 options, right? You cannot decide right away. You need to find the keyword exactly in the question, and then based on this keyword, and you can the right answer in requirement traceability matrix. But I'm telling you that it is very important. So that's better, for those ones who, get the PMP certification, just take care about this type of question and this type of topics. And the last thing, method for reaching the group decisions. Unanimity is a majority, plurality, the dictatorship. I saw one question about this in exam 2. So, but in a general, the exam was good. If I want to, rank it by out of 10, based on my, experience in exam. So maybe I expected that if the 10, I just want to say that the 10 is hardest one, but the exam maybe 9. But I was prepared for the exam with 80%. I thought that I'm right now at 10, so I can handle every question. But I was wrong, in fact. When I just saw the exam, I thought that the question is really hard, and but I should keep calm and then try to read question by one and then try to answer. I suggest for test takers, to this get certification as soon as possible, because as all of us aware, the business analysis exam will change maybe in next year, in maybe next year in 2018, because of the PMP PMBOK is changed, and definitely some area will be revised. So if they can get these courses as soon as possible, so they should get this certification, because I heard in some sources the next practice will be based on the PMBOK, like, because right now we don't have any input tools and techniques and outputs. But next year, in 2018, the next practice test, PBA will be some input, output, tools and techniques or something, which will be more difficult, because we should keep in mind that, okay, this is input for this process, this is tools and techniques, and this is output for this process. But right now it is easiest for everyone to get these courses and then get certification before any changes happen, and then a student should spend more time for that to get adapt with these changes.